Hello.
Long time.
Long time no see. Team, it is a little beyond, but just 2 weeks out from our 1-year anniversary of Twitch Pitch. We started the show on May 14th of 2020. Oh, you're on mute, Candice.
Man. That's amazing. That's amazing. So the question is, some states, cities, wherever have decided that COVID is over. Mm-hmm. So we started Twitch Pitch as a COVID experience for the broader tech ecosystem. Do we continue this into 2022 is the question.
I think that's a great question. Great question. I'd love to hear what the audience thinks about it throughout the show tonight and future shows. Yeah,
that would be a good one to know about. Yes, for certain.
Would you do live audiences, Candice?
Live audiences?
Yeah, would you be interested in that?
I'm here for the team. As you know, sometimes live audiences make me nervous, so I could try.
I take no position. I'm just curious.
I have a feeling you may have already sold this idea to somebody else. So
no, I haven't. I really haven't.
Sure.
We will see. I have one quick question before we get started tonight for you both, totally unrelated to anything. What are we thinking about the future of Airbnb, right? The world's opening back up, as you mentioned. People are noticing that Airbnbs are getting more and more expensive. People are noticing there's a little bit more of an issue with customer service than maybe was noticed in the past. And it seems like hotels are becoming competitive again, oddly enough, which I wasn't expecting a few years ago. But what do you think?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, I would say they definitely have a truth in pricing issue over there at Airbnb. Like when I search for a space, it gives me the rate for the owner, but it doesn't include taxes, cleaning, etc. So the fact that they're not being transparent with buyers, like it gets to be a little bit annoying. Now, Hotel Tonight did purchase Airbnb, didn't they, or vice versa?
Vice versa. Airbnb. Vice versa.
Hotel Tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite certain, but I know that we have had some not great Airbnb experiences and great Airbnb experiences. It really just depends on, there's just a lot of factors. But truth in pricing and transparency have been kind of big ones. For me. So I'm not certain. Maybe they did a lot of layoffs during COVID. So maybe that's why we're experiencing the customer service issue. There are definitely there's a supply and demand issue. Most people weren't able to leave their homes to rent them. So it could be a supply issue that started the problem. But yeah, there's lots of things, but I don't know. Lots of things are going to rebound that we didn't expect them to. So that could be one of them.
Yeah. Brian, what do you think?
One of the things that we told our portfolio is not to cut too deep into the bone during COVID. That the COVID recession wasn't a real economic recession that comes from people spending less and the economy slowly grinding to a halt, right? It was actually like a wall, like a brick, okay, everybody, you're in the house, starting now, right? And while that was hugely impactful, it isn't an actual traditional economic recession, right? And so everybody said it was going to be V-shaped recovery, right? Because it wasn't a real recession. As soon as you open things back up, you won't have maybe the exact same amount of commerce, but you're going to have a significant amount of commerce is going to return, right? And so what you have in folks that didn't if they were in the Lightship Capital portfolio, they would have known that. But for folks that are not in a portfolio, like car rental companies, they sold too many cars, right? They cut too far down to the bone, and now they can't support the number of travelers there are in the world. And this is true for Airbnb and true for hotels. But those firms that, were thoughtful about cash and thoughtful about burn, but didn't cut too deep and were prepared for growth right now are just making money hand over fist, right? So I don't understand how a firm like Airbnb doesn't prepare for that, but here we are.
Yeah, here we are. And speaking of growth, we're excited for everyone to meet 2 new companies tonight. So, Marlon, if it's okay with you, let's take it away.
We're a company and a venture capital firm that invests in companies run by women and minorities, particularly when they're away from the coast. I'm very, very focused on the Midwest. You are watching live the first pitch competition on Twitch, where you, the viewer, have an opportunity to vote for companies that you like best.
So every episode, we have 3 judges, plus you, the audience. You also get to judge each pitch. After each presentation, you'll see a cute little box pop up with a Twitter link for you to vote for if you would invest in the company yourselves.
During round 1, we watched as the startups presented their pitch deck in 5 minutes or less. Then the judges began their Q&A. After we selected viewer-submitted questions for the founders to answer, in the end, the audience and judges had the opportunity to vote in the poll below for the company they like best.
Candice, do you mind if we start?
Oh, sure. Sorry.
All right, here we go again. Welcome back, everyone. Hello, if you're new. Welcome back to everyone who's been watching for a while. We are here again for season 6 of Twitch Pitch, the very first pitch competition that airs live here on Twitch, brought to you by our very favorite people, the team here at Lightship. So for those of you who are new, let me give you a rundown. Every season, we see 12 companies compete and go head-to-head for a grand prize of $25,000, as well as some other cool non-cash prizes as well. Every episode, you see a company present a pre-recorded pitch video in more than 5 minutes, and then we bring that company on live for a Q&A with us, the judges, as well as you, the audience. So as you're watching throughout the episode, throw any questions or comments you might have down in the comment box below you, and we will be sure to get that asked of the companies. And that's if you're watching us on Twitch, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. We'll be able to get all of your questions answered right here live on the show. We love doing this for you all every season. We're really excited about it, but we couldn't do it without our incredible sponsors. Thank you so much to JPMorgan Chase. They're one of the oldest financial institutions here in the United States that serves corporations in over 100 countries. We're also brought to you by UPS. They're one of the largest and most trusted global shipping and logistics companies in the world. And the Ohio Third Frontier. OTF works with innovative startup companies across the state of Ohio, making Ohio the destination for the best tech entrepreneurs. We love putting the show on for you today, and every week we get to do it. And I am seated here next to some of my favorite people, one of whom this is her dinner time. She's snacking, and it's great. Ms. Candice Brackeen, who is the founder and executive director of the Lightship Foundation. Lightship Foundation works to educate, empower, and innovate companies throughout the Midwest led by underrepresented founders. And then on my other side, we have Brian. Brian leads all things AI and education for the foundation. And in conjunction, we are also the investment team here at Lightship Capital, where they are co-GPs as well for the fund. So that's us. We're excited to get to know 2 brand new companies tonight. And the first company tonight is OmCare. Let's bring them on.
CEO of OmCare. OmCare is a digital health technology company pioneering an open access home health platform. The platform allows for healthcare organizations to extend care into the home via secure telehealth capabilities and integrates with our patented medication dispensing technology to deliver direct therapy. OmCare allows healthcare organizations to rapidly deploy a home care strategy while simultaneously customizing the provider and patient experience to fit their brand. The product's open architecture also allows for integration of provider and consumer tools, accelerating deployment and keeping the focus on patient outcomes. Care is moving into the home at an increasingly rapid pace. Non-traditional players like Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart are placing big bets and developing in the neighborhood and in the home strategies. Many of these strategies are positioned to monetize patient access and direct care away from or around the traditional healthcare players. We believe this is an opportunity for healthcare organizations to win in this market by establishing a home health beachhead aimed at addressing the increasingly complex care needs of the over age 65 and potentially Medicaid populations, delivering a platform that allows for customized provider chronic and acute care solutions, enabling the integration and delivery of existing virtual care and remote patient solutions. Our first product, the OmCare Home Health Hub, is a proven two-way audio and video communication platform that dispenses multi-dose pouch medication direct from the pharmacy. It has an open API architecture for third-party service integration, with connections that are secure and data is stored in high-trust certified and HIPAA-compliant cloud-based platforms with encryption, and access controls. The platform includes multi-factor authentication for added security. We believe the key is the integration of a full breadth and depth of provider capabilities on the OmCare platform, either by integrating with existing programs or developing a custom experience, leveraging the power of OmCare to deliver a new telehealth and in-home care offering. We're partnering with at-risk providers and payers to reduce the cost and improve outcomes in 3 high-growth, high-risk market segments. OmCare can be pointed either broadly at certain market or more tactically at specific subset membership groups to drive additional revenue, create a better experience, reduce operating costs, and improve the health of end users. In the Medicare Advantage space, OmCare can serve as a differentiator for MA members as part of enrollment and can ultimately both increase revenue per member and decrease overall churn. In the complex chronic space, OmCare can be used to drive virtual care utilization, on-demand behavioral therapy access, and increase medication adherence at the same time. And in the most at-risk population, the dual eligible, OmCare can truly improve the quality of lives, expanding access to care and support services, empowering members to take more ownership of their well-being. The platform has been recognized and awarded as one of the platforms to watch by well-known venture capital firms and respected healthcare publications and conferences. Honed applications in adjacent industries have secured critical manufacturing and supply chain partnerships and validated the consumer capabilities that underpin this solution. Respected consumer organizations like AARP have sponsored the platform in early stages. Pilots are currently underway with pharmacy and senior care partners to demonstrate the platform's integration, flexibility, and showcases clinical efficacy of a complete home care solution. We welcome conversations regarding partnerships and investment. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the
Hi there.
show. Hello. It's our pleasure to have you. I'm actually going to do the first question tonight, which I never do, but I think it's really important with you. Tell us more about your team, Lisa. Who do you work with?
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's a pleasure. Our team has over 300 collective years of industry experience, ranging in healthcare and payer, as well as consumer electronics and product development. And I'm very happy to say that we also have an equally strong board of directors who, for the likes are the former CEO of United Healthcare and Optum on our board, venture capital investors on our board, pharmacists, chief innovation officers at companies like SureScripts. And Amanda Brinkman, the head of brand from Deluxe. I mean, these amazing people on our board and on our team that are leading the way.
Excellent. Candice, I'll let you start.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you, Lisa. So what gives you the right to win in this space? I've seen a few at-home care devices or hubs as I've attended events like CES or the biotech showcases around the country. So what gives you the right to win?
Thank you so much for that question. We made a decision very early on. Number one, we did not want to compete with healthcare providers, but rather we wanted to be a portal for their care into the home. And what we have found is so often technology is a barrier. Let's be honest, people that are over, as we age and people that are over the age 65, not everybody is tech savvy. Not everybody has a computer with easy access, with, ease of control and navigation through all of the menus to be able to access their physician or their pharmacy. What we've done is we've created this very easy to use platform that removes technology as the barrier. And we serve up providers, either current or new services via this platform that allows one-touch hub for easy access to care.
Next question. So your work right now, I'm trying to clarify. So you're more focused on helping the caregiver in the home and not going directly to the patient or client.
We are simply a portal, an easy to use portal for current and existing services. So for example, if CVS Health wanted to be able to bring their services in an easy to use platform into the home, we enable that to happen. Other providers, senior care providers, are trying to figure out, how do we build relationships with people while they're still in their home, that if and when they ever do need step-up care, we've already established that relationship. And oh, by the way, the number one problem that we have right now is medication non-adherence. 50% of people that are taking medication right now are non-adherent. And it's one of the key driving factors why people over the age 65 are hospitalized, is not taking the right med at the right time. We can actually be able to enable that and have visual confirmation of right med, right time, right person.
Yeah, as someone who takes prescription medication every day, I forget what time every day, even with an alert. So I totally get it. Tell me a little bit more about the state of the company right now. Where are you? I know you have some pilots coming up, but what's happening today?
Right. So our product has been validated in a previous consumer vertical. So the technology, as well as patents, are already in place. So we have 4 issued patents, 4 registered trademarks. We are in pilot currently with our first senior care and pharmacy partners. We are also formalizing expanding partnerships with payers and providers for market trials later this year. So we are currently pre-revenue and will be commercialized by the end of this year. And we're scaling up for commercialization later this year.
Sounds great. All right, Brian, are you next?
I am. I've got questions about the design. It's beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful device, and it's really, really hard to make a device look great. So here's some of the thinking and also the servicing of these devices as you go forward.
So we designed this for ease of use. We thought about touch and sight and hearing. We know that as we age, our hands become less sensitive, to touch screens. So we made it super high sensitive touch. We made it super high bright with large icons, so that as our eyes, our vision is diminished, we have an easier time being able to use the system. We have a very robust sound system, as well as we've considered, and we've also added Bluetooth on board so that we can add other biometrics and sensors that are in the home. We can integrate, for example, with hearing aids that are Bluetooth enabled, so that makes it easier to be able to hear in this audio-visual exchange. But what we've also done, and we've proven over time, is our ability to be able to support numerous devices in the field with 24/7 tech service support.
Love it. Thank you.
Excellent. So anyone watching, if you have any questions or comments for Lisa, feel free to put them in the comment box below. And while we're waiting on that, Candice, do you have any other questions?
Yes. Lisa, why this company? Why are you building this? What's your why?
I will tell you from the very beginning, the most important person in my life was my grandmother. She was how I learned unconditional love. And what I found as she aged and she ended up developing dementia, that it became very difficult for her, and she lost her independence and she lost her ability to be able to connect and interact. And I made a vow at that point in time that I was going to do something for this important, very important generation that so often is overlooked. So this is my way of elevating this generation to be cared for.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much, Lisa. I don't see any other questions yet of the audience. Maybe you could clarify the business model a little bit though for today's Seto Cinco.
Yes. So ours is a B2B model. So we sell to and through healthcare providers and payers who are trying to provide care models to the over the age 65 population. So senior healthcare providers, Medicare Advantage providers and payers, dual eligible providers and payers is who we're partnering with. So for example, our first partner is one of the leading senior care providers in the country, Ecumen Senior Care, and there are about 8 different states and almost 100 facilities providing care. They want to be able to provide care while they're still in their homes, as well as in independent assisted living. And we're also partnering with pharmacies, being able to partner and deliver, dispense pouched medication. So if you look at companies like Dividose that was just acquired by United Healthcare, that pouched medication, Thrifty White Pharmacy, CVS also has pouched medication. And we just dispense those pouches at the right time and enable a caregiver to have visual confirmation of right med, right time, right person.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So if you would like to vote for OmCare, this is how we do it. We have a texting line. So you're going to see a phone number, and I'm going to tell you the phone number, and you're going to text the number to that line. Don't call that number. Don't put the number in the comment box. Text it. So to vote for OmCare, text the number 1 to 203-408-6432. Once again, to vote for OmCare, text the number 1 to 203-408-6432. Thank you so much, Lisa. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye, Lisa.
All right, team. What did we think of OmCare? Candice, you go first.
Okay, so I have seen other companies that are building hubs. There's something that seems a little special about Lisa and her team and what they're building so far and the partners and board members she's been able to bring on. That's sometimes an indication that people understand what she's doing, that they are they're properly aligned. So I think, you know, we've seen, Lexi, you and I have seen other companies, maybe even local to us, that are working on these kind of senior home hubs. And, you know, some of them are just being built by people who can build things. And you can build things just for the sake of doing it, but it's also about kind of having a strategy of getting it to market and having the proper team to do it. So it seems as if she has that alignment. This space is wide open still. And there, I think my question was probably a little misleading. Like, do you have the right to win? I think several people are going to have the right to win. We have hospital systems all over the country on a bajillion different systems. And so there will be several people who win in this space. And they'll all be winners for the people they're servicing.
Absolutely. Brian?
I like the idea of it being a platform technology. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it opens her up to a variety of potential customers, as opposed to saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to send it, you know, I'm going to be the provider. So I like that approach a lot. I like the design a lot. Hardware is really, really hard. And user experience in these populations is very, very difficult, right? You got to think about size, as she mentioned, kind of size, hearing, you name it. She appears to have been very thoughtful about her design, and I think that takes her product to a much different level.
I agree with both of you. And the audience may not know, but I should have gotten into both Roman and PillPack very early in their journeys. And, there's some of my white whales. So I like this space a lot. And I really think she has the team to do it. Her initial pilots and some of the ones that just coming on deck are also really, really great signs and indicators. I'm sure they'll go well. Very excited to see what she's going to do next.
And Lexi, it looks almost like you could even one day take PillPack output and just
and stick it inside.
Yeah, looks like that.
Yeah. I mean, I won't give up all of Lisa's zhuzh, but yeah. So that was great. I'm really excited about that. Let's see what else is happening in the world of healthcare with our next company. Let's bring on Minti.
The founder and CEO of Minti Oral Care. Minti focuses on improving oral health and the quality of human life through science-backed solutions, including consumer packaged goods and a complete ecosystem of technology and services that address all oral health care needs. We have a big vision and a brilliant team to execute it. I'm a general dentist and graduate of NYU College of Dentistry, the largest dental school in the country, giving me a strong alumni network. I have previous experience at Henry the Dentist. Femi Olonilowa is a CFO. She's a consultant with experience working within PwC. With a background in accounting, she's skilled in financial analysis, data modeling, and visualization. She's currently a fellow at the MIT Sandlot Innovation Program. Farida Kalu Seriki is our Chief Brand Officer. Farida is a Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter and a marketing specialist with core experience in social and digital spaces. Having worked on digital campaigns with brands like MTV and Hotels.ng, among others, she brings a playful and vibrant flair to Minti. Meet Alana. She's a millennial who works in finance. She uses subscription services for her razors, body care, and food. She has switched to clean beauty, is eco-conscious, tries to support brands that are socially aware. She sees her therapist virtually. She has not been to the dentist in a year, despite having dental insurance. She seeks personalized wellness. Her frustrations with the dental industry are: oral healthcare products generate extreme waste. Certain ingredients are questionable at best. Oral care branding is boring, overplayed, and way too blue. Dental care consultations that could be video calls require in-person visits. She grinds her teeth for the cost and time to get a night guard or deterrence. Like up to 80% of Americans, she suffers from cold sores, and due to the stigma, would like to manage her symptoms discreetly and virtually. Dentistry seems to focus on treatment rather than prevention. Our solution, the Minti way. Minti will disrupt the dental industry through our oral care products, Minti Guards, Minti Biome, and Dr. Minti. Minti Oral Care Products. As a market entry, Minti's planet-friendly line of premium oral care products are great for your health and our planet. Our first launch will be bamboo toothbrushes, biodegradable vegan floss, and toothpaste tablets. A subscription model is included. Simply pop the tab in your mouth, do a quick chew, and brush like normal. Minti Biome. Using salivary diagnostics, the kit will be sent to consumers every 6 months to submit a sample for testing. Results on a shoppable plan are posted in 2 to 3 weeks. The results include an oral microbiome profile and a personalized regimen of Minti brand probiotics, supplements, and oral hygiene products. Minti Guards. At-home night guard kits with materials and instructions for custom molds are sent to consumers. The lab fabricates night and sports guards at a fraction of the price offered at dental offices. For more advanced testing and treatments, we have Dr. Minti. The Dr. Minti system includes consultations, testing, and interpretation of results. Dr. Minti will also be used for clinician-guided smoking cessation and cold sore management. It will be made available for a fee to dentists who wish to offer tele-dentistry services to their patients. Why now? Minti oral care products stand at the intersection of essentials and affordable indulgences, a thriving market due to COVID-19. 2/3 of those surveyed would make a switch to beauty brands if the products are natural, clean, and sustainable. Minti oral care products embody these 3 qualities. Progressivism is now demanded from brands. There are demands for inclusion and representation in brand leadership and advertisements. The COVID-19 outbreak showed that teledentistry is an effective way to triage patients and conduct problem-focused evaluations in order to limit office visits to those needing emergency care. For oral care products, the TAM at maximum is $64.32 billion. The TAM at minimum is $8.31 billion. At the intersection of dentistry and wellness lies Minti. We're able to tap into the following target markets: teledentistry, dietary supplements, probiotics, night guards, sports guards, and at-home testing. Our business model includes direct-to-consumer sales and subscription, distribution via dental offices across the country, collaboration with subscription box services, and post-pandemic marketing to hotels, co-working spaces, gyms, and airlines. We differentiate ourselves from our competition by being a one-step ecosystem for all your oral wellness needs. Our price points are competitive, our packaging is sustainable, and our branding is inclusive. We're dentist-founded, offer teledentistry, and offer supplements.
We are on track for a successful launch. We are participating in the Venture Crush FG Startup Accelerator. We have completed the R&D for our first launch of products, have been featured on fashionista.com, and several other publications have reached out to share our story. We have received grants from KNC Beauty, New Voices Foundation, and Revlon. We are seeking pre-seed funding of $250,000 to bring our first products to market in preparation for a future raise in Q1 of 2022 for the continued development of Minti Biome, Minti Guards, and Dr. Minti. Our goal is to increase valuation and revenue for a 2026 acquisition.
Join us at Minti Oral Care because the world is a better place with your smile in it.
All right, welcome to the show. Oh, you're muted.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so I'm going to let my resident care mobile specialist, Candice, start us off.
Absolutely. So can you real quick let me know how to pronounce your first name before I keep going?
Onedu.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I'm sorry. I'm just going to ask questions because you'll have to teach me how to sound that out next time. You have a very robust product line, or at least plans for a very robust product line. How did you select that line? And how do you keep a consumer from feeling overwhelmed by all of the things that need to happen in their mouth?
So the reason I chose it is because I have experience working I used to work in Henry the Dentist, and I currently work at another dental startup that raised $198 million. And then just seeing my patients who are wealthier millennials, there's a gap in the industry for what they need. They're just buying like Colgate and Crest. There's no passion in what they're buying in the same way there's passion in what they buy for their skin or their hair. So there's a gap for people that want like better quality cleaning ingredients. So that's the reason why I've chosen this line. And how do I stop people from feeling overwhelmed from all the things that need to happen? So the plan is to launch like one at a time. The first starting with oral care products and gaining trust in the markets, and then telling people that a lot of our dental issues are preventable. For example, cavities are caused by a specific kind of bacteria, and gum disease is caused by a specific kind of bacteria. And probiotics have been proven to alter the oral microbiome to create balance. So just letting people know that prevention is better than cure, and take these probiotics and do some testing, and this will help you in the long run, is what I'm trying to do, like a more holistic approach to dental care.
All right, I have a question for you, and this it doesn't have a right or wrong answer, but I would love your perspective. So, we've been working for an org for the last few years that you've named one of their larger brands, right? So it's one of the Crests or Colgates of the world. On your competition slide, you didn't include Crest or Colgate at all. Why don't you see them as competition?
Because they've been here and they're not doing anything about it. They've been putting out the same thing for years and years and years, maybe I will sell to them. But so far, they haven't shown themselves to be open to innovation. It's the same thing, lots of plastic, lots of toxic ingredients, putting triclosan, putting things that when you use them to brush, they go into the ecosystem and poison fish. And it doesn't look like they're trying to change. So I don't consider them competition because my target audience is different from the people that are buying Colgate and Crest.
That's great to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian?
I noticed the way your products are used is a little bit different than what people are used to, like with the Colgates and the Crest of the world, right? Like putting it in their mouth and then brushing. I see the benefits of that. But tell me about how you plan on impacting user behavior.
So just like having tutorials, our target audience is mostly millennials and Gen Zs. And this is a group that's very passionate about social issues in the environment, and just showing that this is better for the environment. It's a different approach, but it's the same. Like if you brush and it makes foam like toothpaste, but you're not creating so much waste. Like the toothbrush you used when you were 2 still exists in this world. It will never be recycled. It's floating somewhere. So just educating consumers about the benefit of this, even if it's a different approach, I think that people who care about the environment and what they put in their bodies can make that switch.
I love that line about the toothbrush you used when you were 2 still existing. I'd love to see that in a lot of your stuff because it's brilliant.
Thank you.
On the product side, where are you in terms of development of whatever your first product is, which I'm assuming is toothpaste and maybe brushes? Where are you in that journey?
So right now I'm completely self-funded, and I'm actually in production. I'm going to launch end of July. So yeah, I started making things myself, being scrappy, and yeah, I started production and going to launch very soon.
And everyone, if you're watching, if you have any questions about Minti, throw them in your comment box below. So quick, shameless plug time. I know you're not launched yet, but you will be soon. Where could our audience find you sooner and then later?
Find us on Instagram at Minti Oral Care, and sign up to be on our mailing list on our website, mintioralcare.com.
Excellent. And one last question for me, and I'm sorry if it was in the pitch, but could you describe the pricing model and prices if you've established them yet?
So do you want to know the cost of production as well for the price?
Not necessarily the consumer facing price.
Okay, so the consumer facing price, the toothbrush will be $5, floss will be $5, and then the toothpaste tablets will be $10. And then the toothpaste tablets is 62 tabs, which is enough for 1 month for most people if you're brushing 2 times a day. And then there's going to be a subscription model where we send you 248 tablets every 4 months. So you can refill. It's like a cute little tin, and you refill it, and it's great for traveling, for camping, and we retain consumers through subscription.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I don't see any questions for you in the comments, but I will say I see a lot of love for you and your product in the comments. So that's always good to see. So everyone watching, if you'd like to vote for Minti Oral Care to win, text the number 2 to 203-408-6432. Once again, the magic number for Minti is 2 to 203-408-6432. Go text that line if you'd like to vote for them. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. And what did you think? Let's go Brian this time.
Well, first and foremost, I love the name. I know it's like which right, yeah. I love the name. It's like it's very, very, very important, and it's a name that I think is memorable, shareable. You're probably highly available on socials. So yeah, I'm definitely impressed with that. Like the product, as you can tell from the question, I worry about just consumer behavior is always a difficult thing to change. But I will say that on the sustainability environmental side, people will change their behavior for the environment. Like that why does impact their behavior. I know, like Candice, for instance, always talks about how she'll buy something else, try something new, just because of the sustainability of something. So I think there's a real opportunity there. She plays up, this is different, but this is why.
Excellent. One quick thing before Candice, we may be experiencing a little bit of a comment delay. It may be the platform, maybe me. So my apologies, Chekwu and Dean Wamba, that we didn't get a chance to get your question answered. Candice?
I think my thought process is similar to Brian's. And so I guess I'm going to pose a question to you. Have you tried these toothpaste tabs?
As in another competitor?
Another competitor, because they've become a new way to brush your teeth.
No, I feel like I'm old school. I feel like I'm still on my charcoal paste bandwagon. I haven't gone tab yet.
Yeah, I'm on a 2-step toothpaste situation from not competitor. So I would say, like, there's going to be there are a lot of tab companies right now, right? And so it sounds as if right now what she's building is a brand, and not necessarily technology, right? And so what we see with sometimes new D2C companies is they'll find a kind of a contract manufacturer that helps with formulations. And there are some inputs that you can give as a founder. And thank goodness she's a dentist. And you purchase or lease that formulation. And so that's what I'm hearing right now is what's likely the case when you're bringing something really new early to market. I think there's a lot of competition in this space right now. So what we've got to figure out is how is she differentiating herself from the bites and the quips. And I know Quip is like, that is not a sustainability company. Absolutely. And she didn't mark it down as that, right? That's a lot of plastic happening there. But I'd like to see how she's going to differentiate herself over time. Where I did perk up is when she talked about the oral microbiome. I think that, all of our microbiomes in our body are things that we should be thinking about and understanding better, simply because of the world we're living in has stripped away all of the good and bad portions of our biome over time, and is very likely the reason why we're struggling with new diseases or an increased disease level amongst people just really around the world. So that's what I thought was interesting, because it was a differentiator. So I'd like to figure out all the ways that she will differentiate herself and how she has the right to win, just like I was asking how Lisa has the right to win.
Candice, can you answer for me, since I don't know, what's the target consumer for the tablet stuff now? Because in my head, when I hear tablet, I immediately go like hiker, camper, whatever. But are there different demographics for this?
So I actually asked someone this in Tulsa last week, because we were talking about just this tablet, and she, for sustainability reasons, wanted to try them. So she ordered them, and then, they're recurring. So they came to her house a few times. She didn't use them as quickly as she could or should have. And she stopped ordering them. And she was a younger person, probably like, mid to late 20s. Wow, that's a younger person now that I'm turned 43 last week. And so she said that. So I think that that's the target is probably people from 25 to 34 looking to make a shift. I mean, my children haven't said anything about it. And Colgate actually does offer the tabs. So, a big box or a large consumer packaged goods company does offer tablets. So the new folks aren't the only ones, but I'm not quite certain yet. I don't see any of my age friends using it or bringing it up. We're all still very much on paste. Doesn't mean that consumer behavior won't change, though.
Yeah. It definitely makes me think of, I think there's a really good opportunity for this company here, like with companies like Habit that have done really well, really quickly. to think about the ritualization of what they're trying to create. There has to be community plus tech plus some sort of regimen created to really create new rituals for the consumer for it to stick and be sticky.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right. Like, just like the last 2 years, a high percentage of people have gone plant-based, right? It's all become, I can't say the rage, but like it's become a completely different thing. And so you're right, we have to create new rituals around the way we wake up in the morning and groom ourselves. And it's possible, you just have to build a movement.
Yeah, I think you're right. And with that, you know what ritual I get excited about?
Eating dinner.
Exactly.
Thanks, friends, for watching me eat.
So, hey, Zombie Killer 4. No, we don't really play Fortnite, but if you have a Fortnite related startup you want to talk about, feel free to let us know. So thank you everyone for joining our show. This is episode 1 of season 6 of Twitch Pitch. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back on Thursday, right here at 7 p.m. Eastern on whatever platform you're watching us. Come right back here. We're excited to see you all then, to see actually 3 companies compete for the prize. So we're really excited to see you then. And until then, good night. Have a good dinner.
Good night.